Spin. I'm your host, Brian, where I put the spin on new cars. And that there is the first Jaguar SUV that they put for sale in the United States. It's called the F-Pace. And it actually is an interesting vehicle because it has a starting price in 2019 of $45,000. It's not a three-row, but it does handle people very well, as you can tell by the size of this back door. It is their very nice luxury top-of-the-line SUV. However, you can get this for a very base price of $45,000 and then add on a bunch of features. This thing, as you can tell by the seats, which also have a great design here on the back seats. I think only the Aston Martin has back seats that mimic the front seat design. But beyond that interior, which I'll explain later, let me show you a few other things. The Jaguar F-Pace is interesting because I drove it and didn't like it the very first round. And now I'm driving it and I love it. This, by the way, is a clue here. That is a sealed hole, which is, you're going to see that on all F-Pace vehicles. But a few years ago, they actually used to sell a diesel version of the F-Pace in the United States. The hole there was the DEF plug. This here, if you didn't already notice, it has 4 tailpipes, and it has this very, very special badge called SVR. This is not a $45,000 car. I'll show you the window sticker in a bit. Before I do that, let me show you what feeds these tailpipes, because this whole car is about these tailpipes. It's fantastic. I'll show you the trunk while I'm back here. It's a powered trunk. The weirdest option on this vehicle would be the folding seat releases here. So that's an option, and I don't know why. You'll also like this, a large, very large spare tire. And you can see way down there a massive battery. This is not a hybrid. This is a monster. So let me close that. And let's make our way safely to the front. You'll see here we have reflectors built in. This is not like any kind of an air stream kind of deal, but there is an air stream deal right here. There's a gap here. You could see the tire. I don't know if my camera can get there. There you go. The tire's right in there. So there's a vent here to allow the air to slip through. And in the front, massive, massive grille. So, I'm gonna pop the hood. You'll see also vents here too, and my finger can go inside. There's actual heat coming out of there. I should tell you what kind of monster this is. There it is, a 5-liter supercharged V8 producing 550 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to an all-wheel drive system with torque vectoring, and it's permanent, and I can't wait to show it to you. Okay, let's get inside. It's kind of noisy out there today, a lot of traffic. Let's start it up. We can just start it up, or we can do it this way. We can hit the power button. You can see the digital gauges come to life and the SVR, and everything's getting ready here. But then we go down here, we press this button, which is the exhaust button, and then you hear some stuff underneath the vehicle, and then you press the foot on the brake and the start button. So it's a very holistic whole sound. Okay, I just closed my door there. And what you can do, though, is change the different drive modes we have. So what I want to do is show you dynamic. You put it on dynamic, the gauges change to red, and now you get a very, very huge amount of noise out of here. Let me roll down the side windows against the shrubs here. And now you'll get to hear it a little bit better. baby. Can't wait to take this out on the road for you. I do have a video, by the way, of me taking this out on the road. Actually, not me. It was some mythical, magical person who knows how to drive very well on a Sunday in Sunday traffic on a toll road. I think we recorded that video in 20 minutes, so it's a 20-minute video of just this vehicle. Not necessarily flat out. That wasn't even flat out. But I think you'll like it. Let's get on with this review, though. Before I drive, let me just show you. Yeah, we are low on fluid. I don't know why. Thank God it's not the blinker fluid. If I go into the menu here, I can actually change the content of the left panel, the content of the right panel. It's not as easy as it is in the Mercedes CLS, but I will say the Mercedes can't do this. You can change your display layout, and you can go from one dial to your traditional 2 dials, right? Yeah, we've seen that before. And then we can go to the full map. And this is my favorite display. We can also show driver assistance, and that will show like a desert scape with a vehicle on it. So let me go to that. There we go. That's a pretty cool display if you just want something different. And then if we go back to display layout, we can see the actual full map. And so now if we go to full map, we have fuel gauge down there, our odometer, the gear selection, the speed, the range, and the mode we're in. And then I can't zoom in or out on that map, but we do have a map down here. And if we go to, well, I don't want to change the screens, but we'll just go here. Now we have Google Earth, or at least a satellite map in our map. So it is a pretty cool setup. You'll notice down here, it's kind of blank here. There's kind of just a lot of nothing, and I agree. Maybe they did this on purpose, but after driving this vehicle for 7 days, I don't care. These buttons are very easy to use. It has a heated windshield, which is a $300 option. You can see very, very tiny lines in here. And sometimes it's annoying, but once you get in the vehicle, you drive it for a day or two, you can see right through it. You don't really pay attention to it. But getting back to here, I always have it in auto mode. You can hear the click. It's a very deliberate, not a very delicate touch, and I think that's very cool. It's a very solid feel to this vehicle. You'll notice the leather and the stitching and the carbon fiber. That's actually aluminum weave, and we have an auto stop start button, so it stops it from turning off and stop and go. Although it is very good when it does that. It's a very smooth, very nice transition. We also have hill descent control, which is odd because we don't have a way to raise the air suspension. Or sorry, there is no air suspension to raise in this vehicle. There's also no 4-wheel low. So if you want an off-road version of it, you'd want to get the Land Rover Range Rover Sport SVR. Hello. I don't know why my camera's doing that today. And we do have, while you're looking up there, we do have a suede headliner. I don't know if you could see that, but it's fantastic. And now that I got my seatbelt on, let's go ahead and go around the block real quick. And when I mean real quick, I mean it's not going to take long at all. Okay, so we put it in drive. This is the only weird thing about the vehicle. You have to pull down or pull back on this latch and then pull it. Sometimes I have a hard time getting it back into drive from reverse. We have heads-up display. That's also an option, but it does show the speed limit. And it uses the GPS and sign recognition to tell me what that speed is. Oh, that's funny. You can't see it on the camera. Just to the right of that speed, there is a speed limit box. But wow. Anyway, we're in drive. Coast is clear. We're in dynamic. Let me go right here. It's just starting to drizzle, which makes no difference to this Jag. This vehicle is amazing. I'm gonna tell you that if you've ever liked the M5 from the 90s, this is what this car is. This is just a beast with everything set perfectly. Let's go for it. And it's very loud. It's very capable with 550 horsepower, and it just sets it down. And does it go around corners very well? Kind of. gotta chill out a little bit. If you really want to see and hear this thing at a higher speed, go watch my other video. There's 20 minutes of that. Here today with the drizzle, I'm gonna just sort of take it a little easier. But if you do drive it in a normal mode, let's go back down. Normal mode is also comfort. You can actually keep the exhaust open, so when you go between modes, it doesn't change everything. It still allows you to keep the setting that you had. Coming in hot. So even in normal mode or comfort mode, which is the default, the pickup and go on this thing, the throttle response, the toe in, everything is perfect. Dynamic mode is obviously high octane. The supercharger is definitely unhearable because of this exhaust system, which I think is funny because you can hear it from the outside in the front, but not in the vehicle. But still, this car has some sort of special magic to you, and I'll explain that in 1 second. Oh, woo! We'll go back to my hedges over here. Wow. There's just something about this car that makes it my favorite vehicle I've driven this year. That's right. An SUV has made it to my favorite list. So I don't really have a favorite list, but I do have a best cars I've driven playlist, and this is definitely on it. So go check that list out. It's also got that Mercedes CLS 53 on there. These are two different cars, though. I mean, this thing is much cheaper than that Mercedes, which was completely loaded with $25,000 worth of options. What does this have? Well, let me show that to you in 1 second. The interior of this Jaguar is very simple, right? We've got a set of controls here, radar cruise, so we have driver's assistance. We really don't have like a lot of buttons or a lot of doodads, and it's like very simple. There's no knob to control everything. It's all a nice, real nice touch screen. We've got leather dash with stitching, and it's just we have lighting on the door panel there at night. It's a bluish lighting which can't be changed. But there's just a lot of stuff in here. You know, the great seat design, the great patterns, everything in here is just top notch. It smells fantastic in here. This leather combination and this exhaust sound and this V8, you can actually feel it burbling. And if you just stab the throttle a little bit, the car rocks. It's just fantastic. So this is like an old school, raw, visceral, just performance car. It's a hot rod. And a lot of people have said, oh, dude, that thing's a hot rod. And yeah, this is definitely a hot rod. Simple, boiled down to the basics, but it's like fine cooking. Like, it's got the best ingredients. And I'm going to show you what it has. It's very simple, right? 5-liter V8. Let's see if I can focus that again. There we go. 5-liter V8 supercharged, 550, 502, 8-speed auto, all-wheel drive, electric steering, all-surface progress control, which, by the way, you do not get to change here. There is no setting like in the Land Rover where you can change the terrain select or anything. It's all automatic for you. So comfort and convenience. These are all standard, by the way. This is all standard. And the options, very small options list. Base price is $80, basically. And then we have driver's assistance, which includes a 360 camera and high-speed emergency braking. So it's a very cool setup in here. And then we have the smartphone pack, which if you like your phone, you can keep your phone. I would prefer to skip that package. Fantastic 22-inch wheels. This is the aluminum weave carbon fiber, which is excellent looking. I like that look. And what else do we have in here? Heads-up display and the Meridian sound system. Now there is a standard Meridian system in here. Where is it? It's right there. With 380 watts, this option is the 825 watt system, and it sounds fantastic. The activity key, which is what I have right here, and it's this. This is a wristband that you put on your wrist, obviously, and then you can put all your keys and your phone and stuff in the car, and then you put it on, and then at the tailgate you close the car and you put it against the tailgate and the car locks. And then when you come back from your run or your surf or your golf or whatever, you put this against the tailgate again and the car unlocks. Now, yes, your key is supposed to be in the car when you use this. However, when you do use this to lock the vehicle, it actually disables the key. So if someone breaks in the glass somehow and you leave your key out when you do this, that key will not start the car until you come back with this. So I actually had a situation in a Land Rover Discovery where I had an issue with the activity key and I couldn't open the vehicle back up. So that was a little worrying, but luckily you can use your app to open the car too. However, if you leave your phone in the car when you use this, you are ultra screwed. So this key, it's 50-50 in my mind. If it comes with the car, great. If the dealer wants to give it to you for free, great. It's not worth, in my opinion, the $410 for it. Where is it? Sorry, I can't get my angles right today. Activity key, $410. Wow. Okay, let's put that back. And there you have it. This is the Jaguar F-Pace, their first SUV, their luxury SUV, their top-of-the-line SUV, the SVR, which has supercharged 5-liter V8, all-wheel drive, 8-speed automatic, power, and a fantastic sound. And driving this through Dallas for the week, I felt like the king. And that's because I'm sitting in here, and this seat I have had to make no adjustments to. Some cars I get in, and every day I have to kind of just fine-tune it just a little bit more over the 7 days I have it. And in this car, no adjustment necessary. I mean, just look. Let's see if I can actually make an adjustment here. There we go. Oh, my gimbal's not working today. There we go. Come on, you. Interesting. Well, let's do this. If you look at this seat, we have extra-sized bolsters, and there's no really adjustable headrest, but look how thin they are. These seats are like supermodel thin. This is how much room they take up in the vehicle. It is insanely awesome. And so that's part of it. It's like Jaguar, which is owned by Tata in India, which they're making fantastic vehicles right now. It's like they only did focus groups on smart people. And the smart person said, yes, I want a door sill where I can just put my arm on there and just chill, just drive chill. And here it is, perfectly set up. The setup in here is so perfect. And by the way, if you're another reviewer, it's position 1. I already made a setting for it. But it's not that hard to use this vehicle. The brakes are strong. They're not super performing brakes for like the track. But on the regular street, this thing will outperform a lot of sport vehicles like the BMW X5 and the Mercedes AMGs. And actually that's the thing. It's like emotionally, this car, when I sit in it and I drive it, I do not think, well, I wonder if the X5 would be better. I wonder if the AMG would be better here or get off the line quicker or you ride better. I don't think about any of that because this thing does everything well and it's so simple and I don't have to deal with any knobs or any other stupidity. It just goes. And that's the beauty of it. They built this car based on what I think would be the opinions of the smart person who says, I've owned several Jags in my life and you better not change this Jag. And that's pretty much what this is. It is perfect. So please consider that. That's why this car made the best playlist. I've actually never reviewed a Jag before. This is my first Jag, and I'm completely impressed. We do have details in here too, like the knurling. See if I can show that to you. the knurling on the knob, and then the Jaguar name in here. Some other manufacturers do that too, but as far as simple as this car is, you just have to keep looking to see all the details that are just embedded in the car. And yeah, I'm gonna go hit the road. I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for watching. See if I can show you that. There we go. I don't think I ever showed you the full price. Full price, $90,200, and that's with these options. And some options I wouldn't actually get, but you know, to each their own. I would say like, subscribe, comment below. I read all my comments. If you leave nasty comments, I'll send you something nasty back. It gives me something to do. And yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy the drizzle. No Snoop Dogg jokes allowed. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.